ass.
Avalanche founder's new studio makes layoffs, but will continue to work on new IP. This is from Tom Ivan over at VGC. The NetEase-backed studios formed by ex-Avalanche Studios founder Christopher Sundberg has announced that it's making a round of layoffs. In a message posted on its website, Sweden-based Liquid Swords said it was making the cuts following a review of its finances and in the face of, quote, the present challenges of the video game industry. Excuse me. It said, quote, the deeply regrettable changes are, quote, intended to ensure the studio's long-term sustainability. Liquid Swords was established in 2022 by Sundberg, who was previously the founder, owner, and creative director at Avalanche, which is best known as the developer of the Just Cause franchise. When the indie studio was announced in 2022, it said it was planning to grow to a 100-strong team in 2023. Its website has also described its debut project as a, quote, connected single-player action RPG and a hard-boiled take on the open-world crime genre. Sundberg said in today's statement that the company remains committed to its vision despite the planned restructuring. Quote, I promised our employees and shareholders success and to build a studio redefining game development with a small, expert-driven team and a sustainable work model, he wrote. Quote, while we achieved much of this, shifting market conditions prevented us from succeeding within our time frame. As a result, we must part ways with talented individuals who have been instrumental in our journey. This is incredibly difficult, but we remain committed to our vision and will continue to work on our IP and first game with a dedicated team. Liquid Swords development team includes staff whose credit include the Just Cause, Battlefield, Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, and Payday franchises. Tough.
Yeah,
this is unfortunate.
They did nothing. They didn't do.
They're doing stuff. I mean, you got to put a lot into a game to get a game out. There's a lot of just pre-built-in budget and funding and stuff that has to go in, and it sounds like probably some troubles have come up in development, causing an extended development timeline, and there's just not funding to keep that staff on for as long as they would like.
Part of it also reads like they may have overreached with how many people they needed to employ for the company before they got their game out.
Yeah, I think even in 2020, writing's on the wall that you should play your cards kind of safe, but maybe at the same time it's not. There was a big gaming boom in 2020, and it because of the pandemic, and then it shortened up the next year, which has caused us to see massive layoffs over the last couple of years and so forth. So maybe you're right, and maybe they just read the tea leaves wrong. I would have starting a new anything. I would always be cautious. That's me. So maybe they made a mistake on that end. I don't know. I wasn't following Liquid Swords development closely enough to be able to tell you.
Well, again, they hadn't released anything, so they hadn't been able to get their name on the map.
That's another thing. You shouldn't be taking 5 years to put out a game for a new studio. I understand the era that we're in, but also if you're looking to be only 100 devs or maybe even less than 100 devs, like you probably don't want your timeline to be 5 years. You'd probably like it to be 2 to 3 years.
Exactly.
And even in that, I mean, game dev is hard. Things happen. How long have we been waiting on Hollow Knight Silksong? You know what I'm saying? And that's a smaller team, trying to make a smaller thing. And it's just taking a long time. Game dev is hard. I'm not going to judge them for coming up with problems that they didn't expect. And then there's unfortunate consequences, or rather unfortunate results of that. I'm not going to blame the usual suspects of corporate greed and things like that this time around. I think it's just the reality of game dev, and it sucks, especially in today's climate where, I mean, you throw a rock and find a developer who says there's no funding going around.
Yeah.
The big publishers are not trying to fund anything. So what's funny is we're still seeing, even with the PlayStation State of Play, we're seeing a lot of games come out that I'm like, that'll enjoy somebody. I'm curious if we're going to keep seeing games of that level,
Yeah.
How are we going to see a number of years of games where it's just big guys and that's it? Or it's either really big guys or really small guys. That middle ground, I think, is going to erode even more than it's already eroded. We've started rebuilding it, and I think it's about to fall away again.